Certainty. Number 2, pricing certainty. Now, I said before, customers like certainty. It makes making a decision for them easier and less risky, and we don't like risk, particularly when we're making decisions. So the less risk there is in a decision, the easier it is. You need to give it certainty, that is, in your marketing and in your sales. Now, today I'm talking price certainty, and I'm John, of course, from Small Fish Business Coaching. I run the Tradies Toolbox coaching program. It's for trades business owners who want to grow and scale. Part of growing and scaling, of course, is making it easy for your customers to make that decision, either to approach you or to book a job and buy your services. Now, lots of tradies price like this: hours and materials with a margin on top creates the price for the job, right? And if that's all you say when someone calls and says how much to do this thing, if all you say is I don't know, you leave them with an uncertain cost, right? And that's fine as far as it goes. I will know that that's what your costs are, and tying what you charge to what you cost is kind of the way it's always been done. And this is partly why people always ask you for a quote, because they want some certainty about how much it's going to cost them. And of course the danger in that is you've got to go out and measure up and do a quote, which is work you don't get paid for. What I'm proposing to you is that you build a kind of a fixed price schedule for some of the more common jobs that you do, so you can give people some certainty without having to pay the price of going to their site, measuring up and doing a proper quote. Then when someone calls, makes an inquiry, you can give them a price, and you've taken that uncertainty away from them. And in some ways you've kind of absorbed it onto yourself, haven't you? Now, before you say, that's not going to work for my business, John, which I can almost hear you saying, right? It does, and it can work for most of you. It really works for, well, this approach I'm going to talk about really works well for jobbing trades, those who do smaller jobs rather than larger projects. But you can, I know builders and many project-based trades will do a fixed price after a proper quote, right? And maybe if a job's big enough, it's worth doing a quote, right? Whole different discussion. So if you're a builder or you do large projects like pools, you might wish to switch off now. Now, having said that, if you're a jobbing trade, you do maintenance, you do toilet seats and tap washers, and you replace fans and electricity junction boxes and things like that, then you've got some jobs, and those jobs often take you the same amount of time and a similar amount of materials within a certain, bit of wriggle room every time. So you can give a fixed price knowing you're probably not going to be far wrong. Okay? So some certainty is possible to give without you taking on too much risk, right? You don't have to take on all this risk. I know it feels scary now. It's not, right? So there's two things you need to do. You need to let go a bit of that link between how long it takes and how much stuff you buy and what you charge the customer, because they're not really necessarily tied. And you need to accept some managed risk in your pricing, right? It's probably small, and I'm going to say I think it's worth it. So let me explain. Who says that the price for something needs to be tied closely to how long it takes you and how much stuff you had to buy? We don't do that in a cafe, right? I've never sat in a cafe and watched the barista take his 30 seconds to pour my coffee and thought, one shot of coffee is about 30 cents, dollop of milk's about another 20 cents, 30 seconds of his time at $30 an hour, say, that's about 15 cents. $4? That's outrageous. I just go, coffee, $4, thank you very much, it's delicious, right? I don't make a link, and we don't, right? I know this is normal in the trade world, but I don't think it has to be, right? I think it's just convention. So if somebody says how much to fix my cupboard and you say $500 and they say okay, who cares how long it takes? Who cares if it takes you 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 or 4 hours and whatever, right? So within certain parameters of risk, this is very doable, and a fixed price list is a very doable thing to do. I've helped some of my customers do it, and it's changed their business significantly. So I'm going to suggest that you give it a try. Now here's a couple of things. One thing it does for you, you can book the job straight away because you've given your customer some certainty. If you've got your price list right and you can do it in a reasonably measured way, you're not taking big risks, you can do this. You can book the jobs in and they don't go away and look at somebody else, and you don't have to wait till tomorrow till you've gone out there and measured up to give them a quote. So you can book the job in when they need the work done. You can make friends and get it certainty for you as well. And you're going to be close enough, so your risk is very small. Most trades I know, when they're asked to give a ballpark price for a job, you're going to be pretty close, right? You're experienced, capable people who've done this many times, right? You're not just pulling numbers out of your arse and having a guess. You know how long it's going to take and how much stuff it's going to be used. So even if you can't give absolute certainty with a fixed price, I bet you can give people some certainty and perhaps enough to book a job in on the spot, which is where the real win comes. And you'll win more work more quickly if you do this, I promise you. I guarantee it. Does it sound too good to be true? Of course it does, but it's not, right? Like I said, I've done it for real people and it's worked for them and it's saved them time and it's got them more business more quickly. If you want me to help you do it, you're going to have to join my program, I'm afraid. You're going to have to book a 10-minute chat and we'll go through the process of assessing whether coaching is the right thing for you. I'm happy to share some of my knowledge just on pricing if you don't want coaching, but I certainly won't be able to sit with you and help you build a fixed price list in 10 minutes. So look, if you'd like to find out more, book a 10-minute session. I'll talk to you then. See ya.